He has dedicated his life to the promotion of natural health, the prevention of disease, and to bringing a greater depth and understanding to quantum medicine. He is considered a pioneer in this field. He is the founder of International Quantum University for Integrative Medicine, which is also known as the Quantum University itself. In this Quantum University, most of the faculty members are pioneers in the field of quantum medicine. Another project which is close to his heart, which he is running now, is the Noosphere, a project for world health, which is all about heal yourself and heal the planet. I request Dr. Paul Drouin to kindly come up on the stage, please.
First of all, thank you very much to Paraji and everybody that has inspired this pyramid, the creation of this site. And thank you to people who invite me, especially Nipa, who is one of my dear students, and she really insists. But I was waiting to come here for at least certainly more than 40 years. And thank you to all the people that has organized this event. And I know it's a lot of voluntary work and participation of everybody. First of all, I have to tell you that when I arrived here on the site 2 days ago, I feel at home. Because this university is the result of daily meditation. Probably for more than 40 years, I start all the time my day by meditation. And I was trained by teachers, master coming from India. Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, Paramanansa Yogananda. So these people has inspired me to this project I will share with you today, which is, of course, the project of my life, Quantum University. And this is very important. Why is it so important? Because we're all speaking about quantum medicine, energy medicine. But still in the whole world, you cannot say that this type of medicine is recognized. You know, if you are in America, you know, and you practice this complementary medicine. I've done this for many years as an MD, a medical doctor, but also homeopath, acupuncturist, and naturopath. My peers will say, oh, what you're doing is non-scientific. It's not taught in university. If you go, I don't know too much about India, but India is more open to Ayurvedic medicine and complementary medicine. But still, you know, to bring Eastern and Western medicine together is a challenge. And where this, most of the time this happens is inside university. This is an area where scientific mind, people recognize model of healing, model of medicine. And unfortunately, what is recognized now is a model of medicine, Western medicine, let's say, that is totally outdated. And this has been the challenge of quantum medicine. Quantum University is to update the medical and natural medicine curriculum to the standard of quantum physics. And I'm pretty sure this is dear to you because the ground of this quantum physics is absolutely consciousness. And Dr. Amit Goswami will speak about it later in these days. So this quantum medicine, I think, is close to India. It's probably born from India. And to be back here, I feel home absolutely. Because for these 40 days, I was probably thinking about India, but I never know when I will come, and this is the day. And then I also start a project I will speak about in the next day called the Noosphere Project. And it has to do with pyramids too, because pyramids are very important. And when I found this campus, I say, hey, they are already in advance, creating structure, campus that can be like anchor to this concept of medicine that we will speak about. Because we have to anchor that in the society. And this pyramid site is the ideal architecture to be the embodiment of what I will call creative quantum medicine, or consciousness medicine. So I say creative integrative medicine. Why in America, if you say quantum medicine, you irritate some people. If you say creative, you irritate. So let's say quantum creative integrative medicine. And that would be the subject of my conference. And I was listening as Dean Terray speaking about healthcare, about her wife that has cancer and her daughter, and then you want your dear close family member to be treated the best it could, and then of course he thought about Western medicine. But actually, you will see as I speak and I present this model, the best model of medicine where cancer can be dealt is this integrative model. When you can have both of the modality side by side. And this is what we're speaking about today. It's about the Quantum University, a site where we can give credential, because this is where happen most of the time, recognition in society. So let's come back to healthcare. And healthcare, I've give this conference in America, but I think it's good for the whole world. It's a challenge. And the way medicine is designed now, nobody can afford it anymore. Even in America, there's a huge debate now. In America about, government paying the healthcare or private. And I come from Canada where healthcare is all taken care by the government. But nobody really reflects about the fact how medicine is practiced. Because it's not just who pay the bills, because the bill is not any more affordable. If you think in terms of Western medicine, as soon as someone is sick, the only way you can restore this individual in Western medicine is surgery or pharmaceutic. And it's out of reach now of anyone, even rich society. And a less fortunate society, then they also have challenge. How to make medicine more affordable, how make medicine more available to everyone. This is where we have to combine both together. We have to make medicine costless. When they were speaking about meditation and the benefit of meditation, it's already one step ahead of modality that can be used to decrease the costs. The way you look at the individual, either in terms of disease, fatality, you have your diagnosis, and here's the path. You have to take these drugs, and you have that many months to live. This is very fatalistic. We have to shift this to a point of view, what I call a medicine of full potentiality, looking at the individual in terms of parameters of health, in parameter of bioterrain, what can be done to bring that individual to its full potential. This is the real key to prevention. So now, if I am a medical doctor, I practice medicine, I love medicine, I was trained as a family doctor. The client walk in my office, what I see, what I search for disease. I'm looking to this sign, I'm looking to lab tests that will prove that something is wrong with that individual. The new quantum doctor, this new quantum creative doctor, when the client will walk in the office, will look differently. We'll look at sign, at parameters of health. What can be done to bring this individual reharmonize, regenerate, tissue, heal, not in terms of disease, but in terms of full potentiality. Because cancer, you can approach it in a way trying to find what's wrong. And now when you have, and then you use heavy medicine, but you can also, and many history of clients, and even my students sometimes come from path where either a member of their family had cancer or they had cancer, and they were cured by complementary integrative medicine. Costless, changing habit, changing nutrition, changing belief system, combining different type of homeopathy or naturopathy approach. But the evaluation has to be different. And this is what we teach in this university. We teach a way to look at the individual in terms of full potentiality, but referring to the premise of quantum physics. Because this, you see, in society, you need to come to an agreement. And everybody cannot say everything. And you have to come to some agreement that we refer to science. Quantum physics is science. But the drama is that this quantum physics is not yet applied in medical school, and even in some natural medicine school, and even in some alternative school. Because some of these schools sometimes approach the client, of course, instead of with pharmaceutic natural products, but the mind thinking is still the same. So the current healthcare sustainable lack of recognition by the medical board, this is what I was telling you. As a medical doctor, family doctor, I set up a center where I will have both. I will be able to evaluate my client medically with the regular lab, and also I have my lab. Dark field microscopy, Vol electroacupuncture, Kirlian photography, all tests that would give me another portrait of the individual. And I could solve problems that nobody could solve, because you know what? The toolbox that the medicine has in hands are very small when you face degenerative disease, when you face psychosomatic disease, when you face cancer, because you know what? You have to understand how work mind and body together. And the materialistic model, scientific, that is taught in university, they cannot put both together. Someone previously said, there was a time I thought science was on one side and spirituality the other, how we can bring spirit, mind, and body together. This is where quantum physics has solved this duality. And this is what is need to be taught in university. And when the healer is trained, he has to grasp these fundamental ideas. Limit view of human being. You see, the king course, when you do a medical course, is the anatomy, human anatomy and physiology. You're so proud when you do this part. You look at the individual like a mechanics. Energetic medicine opens our eyes to something more subtle. We call that subtle energy. How this energy flows in the body, how mind and body are related to energetic medicine. There is no way that Western medicine can understand that on this outdated model of science that they are using, which is materialistic, because they see the individual as a mechanic. So what about if the problem is not mechanic? What about the problem is a mind-body connection problem? And this is probably most of the health problems. It's like the mechanics that you go to see to fix your car, and he know nothing about electronic. And today you probably, it will be probably limited. So this is what is a challenge of medicine now, the limit of medicine. The way to evaluate the client, as I said, more in terms of symptom, you have to go at the root cause of the problem. And this is where, when I done my medical course, I was so disappointed. As I practiced a few years in general practice, I was saying something is missing. And this is where my search went in this old model of healing. This is why pretty soon I start to study acupuncture and Taoist medicine, and of course consciousness medicine, which is absolutely the ground of all these medicine. Limited disease-based model of medicine. So it's like, you're looking at the individual and you put it in a box, in a small box. This case of the woman who has a cancer, go to Houston, and then she has a diagnosis of cancer, and here you have like a battle with chemotherapy and radiotherapy against this tumor. Instead, to think out of the box. Think in terms of bioterrain. Think in terms about what is the root of this problem. So the doctor who reflect, or when you look for a solution, so Einstein said, we cannot resolve our problem with the same thinking we have used when we create them. So we have to think out of the box in some ways. In other words, if you want to solve problem, you have to get out of the box. You have to think differently. And this is the step that we have done with Quantum University. From the premise of quantum physics, we have started to look at the individual globally and then establish a curriculum based on these premises. Coming from a background with both healthcare, again, you will not solve the crisis of healthcare for any country, looking at who will pay the bill, but how you practice medicine. This is where is the real problem. How you practice this medicine, how you look at the individual, what is that these doctors, these healers learn when they do their training? Is it based on something that box the client and limit the modality of healing, or if it's an open system, a creative system where everything is possible? So I wrote in my book, Creative Integrative Medicine, no one knows the price we are paying for an incomplete medical education. And when I say medical, I can say medical and natural medicine education. Nobody knows the price. Why? Because even if you are in natural medicine and you don't know how to evaluate your client, you can end with these people going around with bags of vitamins and products to fix their problem. So there is a high price to tailor our education on a model that is not based on quantum physics, on all the possibility of consciousness. This is why I wrote, the tree of medicine must be transplanted into new soil, where its root can deepen and intertwine to reach a more complex source of healing, knowledge, and bring together all tradition of healing, ancient and modern.